Welcome back. Today on Dialed In DIY, we're not just having a blast, we're making it too. Need a good startling prop for a haunted house or a Halloween gag setup? Maybe you just want something to play pranks with, or you're looking for something to clear the backyard. Either way, we've got you covered. We're going to start by dialing in that multi-purpose air cannon we made in a previous video, which you can find linked in the description below. It's pretty quick and easy to make, and this video serves as a wonderful set of modifications to that basic air cannon. Two key goals were to make it loud and make it easy to use. To make it easy to use, we're starting off with a simple PVC Union Adapter on the first round, and we're going to get some 9/16 flat washers and duct tape. We're going to go ahead and cover one of these washers with the duct tape and get ready to add that to our PVC material. I have tried several different types of tape and I find that cheap duct tape does work the best. This Union Adapter has a stem that is 3/4 of an inch and it attaches perfectly to our 3/4 inch ball valve. We're going to go ahead and take one of our washers with the tape side facing towards the cannon, put it inside and screw the cap back in place. Go ahead and close the ball valve, connect it to a bike pump, and let's pump it up to 80 psi to get a good start. I think you can already see why having good ear protection and eye coverage is important in this particular project. It's also extremely important to fully understand the pressure limits of all of the materials that you're using and never exceed that. Well, we got 120 decibels out of this, and we can easily reload and use again by using these kind of blast discs. This has worked out really well. So let's go ahead and give this Gorilla Tape a test, and I'll show you why it didn't work so well. As you can see, the Gorilla Tape is way too strong to rupture with 80 psi, so we're going to pump it up a little bit more and give it another go. The air leaking out that you're hearing is coming from all of the threaded areas that I did not use pipe tape on, and not the actual Gorilla Tape. The Gorilla Tape still was too rugged to puncture. You can see I do have my decibel meter going in the upper right hand corner of the screen on each of these shots. I'm going to explain a little bit more about some comparative values at the end of the video. To dial this in a bit more, I'm using the materials you see on the screen here to make a bigger and louder version. For those of you wondering where you can get these materials, I did go and check a couple of different locations and verify that you can pick up all the materials that you'll need for these projects at your local hardware store. You'll notice that in this version, I had to use the nipple and the bushing to connect the union to the ball valve. That's because I got a 1-inch union and the ball valve on my cannon was 3/4 of an inch, so I had to adapt. You could always avoid this by using a 1-inch ball valve on your cannon or just getting a 3/4 inch union. You can see already that I'm able to use a much bigger washer in this particular union, which will give us a different response in the cannon itself. To conduct the first test here, we're going to set it up the exact same way we did in version number 1 with a duct tape disc. Once you have the parts of the union screwed back together, go ahead and hook it up to your bike pump, turn that valve, and get set to go again. An interesting side note in this whole process is the sound wave coming out of this thing overwhelmed every microphone that I had that I tried to record this with. So I was not able to provide you with an accurate representation of the volume or the actual tone. What I heard when I used this was a much deeper tone. With that said, I decided to escalate a little bit and go to one of my bigger air cannons to see if I could get a bigger, louder sound. Yeah, I got it. Because that extra pressure has to go somewhere, I'm also getting a bit more recoil. At this point, I am really happy with the results I'm getting, but I'm not done experimenting. It's time to try something else, so I'm going to go ahead and try foil tape. It's just a little bit more quiet, but I did get a different tone, so I kind of like this one as well. I do, however, really like the effect of the duct tape, and I'm going to try it without the washer. Yep, that worked really well too. So we did get it loud. It's easy to use and portable because you can use it with a bike pump anywhere you want to go with it, and get as many of these little washers as you can get a hold of, cover them up in advance with your duct tape, and you've got a lot of rounds that you can blast away with as fast as you can cycle them out. For the sake of satisfying my own curiosity, I did have to go ahead and get the Gorilla Tape back out and try it with this new setup on the bigger cannon. Yep, failed again. But that doesn't mean I'm not going to try 120 PSI, right? I do just really want to reinforce the need for safety and caution when using these. Never aim them at persons or property. And make sure that for your area, you're not violating any local ordinances by using one of these kind of devices. Because this is really loud, I did want to give you some kind of a baseline for comparison so you can understand how loud this really is. So, at what point are you causing damage to your hearing if you're not careful? Vacuum cleaner pumps out about 75 decibels and a lawnmower does 85 decibels, and that's a point at which you start to get some hearing discomfort. Chainsaws and rock concerts are still more quiet than this cannon. Thank you for coming by Dialed In DIY today and watching my video. If you liked it, let me know with a thumbs up. If you have an interest in seeing more videos like this, I'd love it if you'd subscribe and come back in the future. And you can also check out my playlists. I have plenty of other videos that you might enjoy as well. So now go grab yourself some PVC and have a blast.